What is up, Edison duelists? This is Dionysus, aka Young Puds, coming at you guys with some more shameless, hype beast, GigaVise content. Well, folks, it happened. We had another GigaVise top cut performance. Not one, but two individuals did very, 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 very well at a pretty sizable Edison tournament this past weekend, and they were playing the evil Thorn variant of GigaVise. So you guys know what that means. That means, hey, I'm going to have to eat my words. I've been speaking out against evil Thorn for all this time. But now, hey, maybe I'm wrong. So the list we're playing, that's not the exact list that they topped, but I think the concept here is what's really important. The concept of evil Thorn and Dad in GigaVise is what we're trying to show off. So let's just jump right onto the ladder. I've really been liking this kind of, okay, here we have a new GigaVise list. Let's test this idea out, just jumping onto ladder. And the Young Punts account, we're starting to grind up there. So maybe we'll actually get this account to the top of the leaderboard. That would be pretty funny, especially because I'm really only playing on it with unproven, at least by me, GigaVise lists. So meanwhile, I'm also still deep in preparation for YCS Providence this weekend. Really, really looking forward to that event. Haven't played in any type of large Yu-Gi-Oh event in years. That's a fantastic draw, picking up the SSN there. We can just set the dandy and pass. So I've just been really, really excited for it. Really, that's all I can say. I'm narrowing in on what I'm gonna play, but this evil Thorn stuff could definitely throw a wrench into those plans. Okay, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I think you have to declare that you're bouncing before it flips. I could be wrong. Doesn't really matter. Look at that. That is a DDR. Okay, so since we got the DDR and we know he has the Grand Mole, we're just going to go to end phase and we'll lose the dandy like that, and then we'll get out our I want the good token. There you go. Much better. Can't believe we haven't set that already. Anyways, so like I said, maybe this evil Thorn stuff really is going to be the sauce. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance back in the day. I will say, anytime I was playing with evil Thorn previously, I was playing with Twilight Rose Knight. So maybe TRK was the problem, and evil Thorn was just fine. Anyways, here comes Diva into Gilman. So I guess he's probably just going to clear both of my tokens and then punch us for a little bit of damage. That is totally, totally fine. Yeah, go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead, sir. So, I mean, this seems good. It's going to be a little tricky to get the tokens onto the field, but even if we have to crash the dandy, I'm fine doing that. I'm comfortable with that. That doesn't make me uncomfortable, Here comes an android. Totally fine. Again, is also so chill, just a chill guy. Look at that. Hey, no problem. You know what I mean? No problem. There could be a Gemini Spark. Maybe we play around the Gemini Spark and we Mark of the Rose and we take the alias right now. You guys think that's good? Did he summon the alias first? Is that like the first thing he did? Yeah, he summoned alias instead. Okay, so that could totally be a Gemini Spark. So I think we're gonna be best if we play around that just a little bit. Can't hurt, right? Say yoink. He paused. He paused. He thought about it. That's totally a Gemini Spark. We're off to the races, folks. So there goes Lone Fire Banish. Here comes DDR. Card Super Solar Nutrient. Get us to Lone Fire. Lone Fire effect. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. He's at 96. Oh, because we used Upstart. That's a little annoying. It's fine, though. Failing Trunade. You hate to see it. And we'll go for supervise. And then we'll supervise for Lone Fire Blossom. And then we'll Lone Fire Blossom. I think we're all in on deciding that that is Gemini Spark, right? So we're going to extend a little bit further Power Tool Dragon, and then we'll supervise for Gigaplant. And yeah, so 66% is going to round up to 100%. That's all well and good. And anyway, so while that's resolving, I got this interesting comment here yesterday. KT, a bunch of times, asks, excuse me, streamer, how can Sunday be on the first day of the week if it's a day of rest? It's the first day of the week. What are you resting from? The 0th day of the week. So it is, the day of rest in the sense that it's your day off, like in the 10 Commandments, but we celebrate it on Sunday because we're appreciating Jesus coming back to life on the Sunday. It's a very exciting thing. So we moved our day of worship from Saturday to Sunday for that. This also ties in, I'm going to say, with the cult of Invictus Soul. Are you guys familiar with the cult of Invictus Soul? This is the cult of the unconquerable sun, which was a religious experience group, whatever you want to call it, in ancient Rome that was concerned with the sun having a good deal of undying, and even though the years or the days get shorter, the sun always comes back stronger. And indeed, Christmas is tied into this. If you've seen the Zeitgeist movie, as Juan Gonzalez here suggests, the Zeitgeist movie is actually out here suggesting, oh, I can't put Titanial up. That's fine. We're playing around, honest. The Zeitgeist movie is suggesting that all of the Bible and everything, it's just a coded message for astrology, and it makes some really good points. It points out like a lot of the astrological symbolism in the Christmas story, and it does point out that a lot of these traditions, Easter, Christmas, they do have like a lot of roots in pagan kind of ideas. What I would propose, and what I would think is worth us considering here, if this is Mirror Force and then we just have to negate with Stardust, it's Deep Prison. Okay. Oh, that's annoying. Now we have to give everything back. Anyways, I want to keep yapping about cults and stuff. So I think if you read Aldous Huxley has this book called The Perennial Philosophy, and it points out that there's this kind of undercurrent running along every single religious and spiritual tradition, and it points to a unified truth, right? And I don't want to say I sound like a Unitarian here, but and if you are a Unitarian, nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to dunk on anyone here, but I'm not necessarily trying to take a universalist approach, but I do think that there is a common truth, right? And this is a thing that we call mysticism, right? And if you talk to mystics, and I've been fortunate enough to talk to a few mystics from various traditions, they all kind of, they're telling you a lot of really similar stuff. It doesn't matter if they're Buddhist, if they're Christian, because there really is like a lot of spiritual truth. And I think if you believe in a loving God, I think it's a fair conclusion to make, right, that anyone who pursues God, right, is going to find some sort of answer, right? And now I've talked about this before, and I consider myself a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ and all that. And one of the reasons that I think is so compelling is it does tie in to this zeitgeist, idea where, give me this. Drawing Titanial is terrible there. That's actually really bad. What do we have? Okay, I'll come back to this point that I was going to make. I need to think here for a second. Um, Ab Zero is in the way. That's tricky. Like we could flirt, right? Or say copy plant. But then if we flirt for copy plant, okay, so we make Brio, right? And then just gone. I mean, we can't pass, that's for sure. Um, Maybe you can't put another water on the field, in which case we could do something like... Huh. This really is pretty tricky here, folks. Maybe... oh, we can't even Power Tool Dragon because we only have... That's annoying. Hmm. And no way into... Yeah, I guess we'll just have to do it like this. I don't know. Maybe this isn't correct. Oh, is it Power Tool and Defense? Because if he puts another water, then we just lose. If he has... Oh, I could totally have another diva, but then if we go Black Rose and... Okay, I think we're committed. Maybe Goyo was correct there. Maybe Goyo was correct. But now I think, like, this gives us more top decks. So if he doesn't have another water... I knew he had Grand Mole. I knew he had Grand Mole the whole time, and I... What a throw. I'm sorry, folks. Young punts. Anyways, we'll just do Book of Moon and MST. And I feel like I don't have... I think we have to take out the upstarts in this situation. I know that's really lazy citing. So, but anyway, so my whole take, and this is just what I think. I want to be clear, is that when you have all of these signs pointing towards the Christmas story and everything, I kind of see it as like like prophecy, and I think that the point of like a Christ's incarnation as a human being, right? That's kind of like at the center of all time and space, right? So everything is leading up to it, and then everything is coming from it. So that's why you have these things like the astrological symbols of Christianity. And I'm also totally like comfortable and content with the idea that like there's pagan roots and there's still like pagan practices that are used in like modern Christian tradition, because I think that's a good way for people to stay connected to their ancestors, right? That's the whole idea. But we're celebrating those same festivals and those same things for Jesus. So like I don't think that like that really like invalidates anything, It's like, oh, Easter is a pagan holiday. It's like, well, no, like it's we're very clearly doing it about this, but then we also have these other roots which are now also, in service to the Christian idea. And that's how I see it. And again, like I'm trying to have a discussion here about Sunday, right? And so the whole idea, I got really distracted. I wildly digressed. I apologize. The whole idea, right, is Sunday is the start of the day because it is still the weekend, right? But that it's also the beginning of something new. So having Sunday as still a weekend day, but also the first day of our week is... let's just go Power Tool here. I want more cards. It's, kind of... it's an invitation to remember that, things end and they're reborn, and... like really like so much of life is on this like big cycle of death and rebirth. And in fact, Are you guys into Carl Jung? I've talked about Carl Jung a little bit before, and I really like Carl Jung. And in Man and His Symbols, which is like baby's first Carl Jung book, if you want to look into that type of thing, Carl Jung notes that there's four main archetypes that are like the four big ones, right? And they are the mother, spirit, rebirth, and the shadow, right? So rebirth, this idea of rebirth is so fundamental to the collective unconscious, to like how we as humans experience reality. And I mean, I think Christianity is like, it's the rebirth religion, right? But if you want to look at like some ancient spiritual traditions, right, the mysteries at Eleusis, which super interesting rabbit hole if you guys want to dive in there. But this is the story of Persephone and Demeter, right? Which, if you're not familiar, I'll give you guys the cliff notes. So Persephone is she's kind of a nature goddess, right? One of the Olympians, and or Demeter is the nature goddess, right? And her daughter Persephone is also a goddess, and Persephone is frolicking in the flowers with the nymphs and all that, right? And she's noticed by Hades, the Lord of the Dead, and Hades abducts Persephone, and Demeter, her daughter being lost now, falls into grief, and all of nature falls into grief with her, and the humans are starving and food can't grow, and so the other gods try and help out, and they find that, okay, there's Persephone in the realm of the dead, right? And Demeter goes to bring her back, but it's discovered that while Persephone was down there, she ate 6 pomegranate seeds, right? She ate 6 pomegranate seeds. So she has to spend half the year in the realm of the dead. Is this heavy storm going to go through? Looks like it is, folks. Feeling good about that. Very nice. We'll just mark the rows here. Clean up. Jor's the Gemissary? No Jors, no Gemissary. You love to see it. Anyways, so Persephone gets to be reunited with her daughter, right? But then every year she's spending 6 months. So that's what winter is, right? And she teaches humans agriculture, so that we can survive. And the mysteries at Eleusis are very concerned with this story, and it's this really interesting place that people from all over the ancient world would make a pilgrimage to go to. And we'll just pass with this kind of hand. And I forget who said it. I want to say it was a Roman emperor. He noted that the mysteries of Eleusis are so important, they hold together all of civilization. And if it wasn't for the mysteries of Eleusis, are you not swinging with Fossil Dyna? You're not? Okay. A little weird, bro. This is a fantastic situation we've suddenly found ourselves falling into. We can just lightning vortex. Oh. Why would you do that? That's not nice. I'm just kidding. He's allowed. Gonna take the alias? No, we're not gonna take the alias. Very sad. Okay. We can still do this. We just need to find another Mark of the Rose, or perhaps another Lightning Vortex, or perhaps a Book of Moon. Many options are available. Why are we not swinging with the Fossil Dyna? I don't understand this. Is he just BMing? Okay. Fossil Dyna, dude. Dyna's up. You can't special summon. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, no. Gold Sark is not what we need here. Gold Sark is not what we need. Hey, neither is Evil Thorn. I don't know if we're surviving long enough. Like, I think we honestly, like, we would rather have the Lightning Vortex and the Book of Moons. We'd rather be able to draw them next turn in case we live. than anything else. So let's banish. I don't know. Let's banish a lone fire, because like otherwise, like we're just dead, right? Otherwise, we're just dead. Maybe you have no more monsters. Maybe you're going to continue just attacking with Alias, and we'll get a little bit more time. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so they were really important, and we don't really know what was going on at them because they were mysteries, right? It was a mystery cult, so there's a lot of secrecy going on. There's a lot of stuff that we just don't know. Okay, so now we have to draw Book of Moon or Lightning Vortex, and it has to go through, and we didn't. Cool. I think this still has potential. Let's run it back one more. We didn't even draw Evil Thorn. We didn't even draw Evil Thorn, guys. We gotta get one where we draw Evil Thorn. So, like I was saying, so you have these mysteries at Eleusis, which are very concerned with rebirth, right? You have the Dionysian mysteries, which were a little more decentralized, right? Which are also concerned with and Dionysus also plays into the mysteries at Eleusis, right? Where Dionysus being this kind of half man, you know, born of a mortal mother and son of Zeus, right? You know, he has a journey into the underworld to bring his mother back, and you know, then of course Orpheus, right? And he's out there. This is a great hand because we drew DDR. Look at that, folks. So you have all of these like ancient cults that are really really concerned with journeys into the land of the dead and returning, right? Because like let's be honest, like we're all human beings. We're all gonna die one day, and that's really really scary. Like I don't have any illusions about that. I know it's scary. It's it's scary stuff. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So like human beings, like we're going to be having all these systems so that we can cope and we can try and understand like what it is that we're doing here, and having these themes of rebirth are really really encouraging. You know, that's I find it to be encouraging myself even today, and yeah. So that's all to say, you know, that's why Sunday is the first day of the week, as far as I know. And if you disagree, if you have some information that I do not seem to have, and you would like to, you know, kind of fill me in, please do so. I would love to hear what you have to say down in the comments. But in the meantime, we have just done a fantastic first turn GigaVise combo. We're ending on the Lone Fire with the Miracle Fertilizer. We can summon Power Tool in defense because if it's Glads, he can already run into the Lone Fire. And then we have GigaVise up and Titanial. If you're new here, GigaVise is the name of the deck, and it's also shorthand. It's a little bit of slang for Gigaplant equipped with Supervise. And we do have a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, a little PWWB action, which is going to be set. And that's going to be really, really great. So we have a little bit of defense. This is really what the deck is trying to do if it gets to go first. And it's always nice to get to do what your deck is trying to do. Our opponent is typing. He says, "That unfair LOL. So true, king." All right. What do you have? Black Whirlwind, normal summon Shura, search Gale. No, okay, we're on Warriors. That's fine too. You have search for Greffer, and then normal summon Sirocco, special summon Greffer with the other Sirocco that you have in your hand. Send Plague Spreader Zombie. Or maybe you have Sidra or something. Yeah, you just make a Black Rose. Okay, so yeah, so you special summon Greffer, right? You can't normal summon the Sirocco now. That's good news for us. Here comes the Greffer. Oh, then we just special the Gale. Yeah, let's think for a second. Okay, think we have to put the Gale back. So he's going to get to go into Goyo. He's going to get to do that. If he has another dark. He has to have another dark in hand. He does not have another dark in hand. That's fantastic. Wow. I was just sent a very cute picture of my daughter out in the sun, playing outside. Makes me very happy to see. I wish I could be outside right now. But I'm not. Can I say? It's just not what I'm doing right now. Right now, I'm sitting here recording a video for you guys because I want you guys to have your daily dose of shameless hypebeast GigaVise content. And if we're being honest, I also like making it every day. Okay. I would have liked to have gotten supervise. I would have liked to have gotten supervise. Torrential? You got the torrential, bud? And we go Lone Fire. And we go Nettles. Torrential? Okay. Alright. Cool. In that case, here comes Stardust. Here comes Gigaplant. And then we just normal summon the Gigaplant and we bring out Nettles. And then we start attacking. Easy does it. I mean, and we know you're going to draw Gale next turn, if you get a next turn. I don't think you do. 6, 12, 24, 25. Game. Feels good, man. Prison. Negate. Unbothered. I am unbothered. Alright, good. Man, I don't have enough space to side things out. Like, realistically in this matchup, we probably do want to be taking out Evil Thorn. But I want to draw it. I want to show you guys what we could do with this card. You know what I mean? Alright, we'll just not do decrees. That seems fine. I say that a lot. That's my that's what we're saying these days. That seems fine. But it does seem fine because, you know, things seem really fine. It is a very nice day outside. I've got to finish up this video and then I'll have to finish up work for the day. And then hopefully I can get outside and get some fresh air. It's like, it's in the 70s. First time this year it's been in the 70s. It was raining all weekend. That's what it does here in New England. In the springtime and the summertime, is you have the nicest weather imaginable on the weekdays. And then on the weekends, when you would actually have time to go hiking or something, it's gonna be rainy and too cold or just gross, and that's just how it is, really. That's what happens every single year, all the time. Anyways, okay, we got Dandelion and Super Solar Nutrient. Let's draw Evil Thorn. Let's draw Evil Thorn, so then we can have it. Gold Sark. We could, excuse me. We could also like use Gold Sark to search for Darkarm Dragon and stuff. That's something that we could have. All right, here comes Card Trooper. That's just fine. Mill 3. Okay, a dark and a light, but who knows? I feel like Chaos Sorcerer is kind of out of fashion these days. Folks aren't on it so much. I mean, we got Lone Fire. That's fine. Wait, is there a line where you go Lone Fire for Thorn? For Super Solar, or for 2 more Thorns, and then you go Lone Fire. Oh, but that still just ends on Gigaplant plus Thorn. So I need a little bit more gas. So we're not going to do that. I mean, like, I guess it sets up Dark Armed. But if I draw Dark Armed, then I'll just, you know, I'll do that then. Okay, that's Caius. That's unfortunate. It's not good for us. It's not the end of the world either. It just is what it is. Don't set 2. I only have 1 MST. Okay. This is fine. Deck Devi. Chain MST. Nice. There you go. Enjoy it. So here, I think actually what we want to do, we want to go for Lone Fire. And then we go Lone Fire for Evil Thorn. And then we go Evil Thorn for 2 more Evil Thorns. And then we go SSN for Lone Fire in defense. And then here we could go Lone Fire, Tribute Thorn for Gigaplant, and then... Now we're going to go Lone Fire Tribute itself for Gigaplant. And then we're going to go 2400. And then you're not going to have Gores. And then we're going to go SSN Copy Plant. And we're just going to make a Power Tool Dragon here. We're going to try and get DDR because I would rather just have the DDR already. But if not, we'll try again next turn. But like, hopefully we get the DDR and the Power Tool lives. Okay, so we got the DDR. So that's step 1. Step 2, you're not going to have an out for the Power Tool. Step 3, we're going to draw something that isn't a monster. Step 4, we're going to Power Tool for guaranteed Supervise. All right, Sirocco, this is a good start. Gale, this is a bad start. But it's not the end of the world if Power Tool eats the dust. Bites the dust, eats the dust. What am I saying here? Ugh. Thought Ruler. That's the worst possible thing you could be making for us. We draw a Hidden Armory. I'm going to Hidden Armory now. For Supervise. Oops. And, okay, we're not going to get Dad dropped on us. You don't have a Vayu. I want 1 more turn. I want 1 more turn and 1 more card. And we can win in game 3 if we have to. 1 more turn, 1 more card. Because we can still activate Mark of the Rose on Thought Ruler. Because all we need to do is just get the Gigaplant banished. And then we can activate DDR. And go from there. Also, if he puts something other than Thought Ruler on the field and doesn't kill us, then we can mark that, and then we'll actually be taking something, which is really good. All right. It's your turn, sir. Draw a card. Let's go. So Evil Thorn did something there. You know, it got us the extra SSN live. We could also totally rip Dad next turn. That's something to consider, folks. We could totally rip Dad off the top of the deck, which that would honestly be pretty cool. I think that would be rad to rip Dad. I think that would be very cool to rip Dad off the top. It's your turn. Go. It is your turn. I see they put activate and or declare and what do you mean? I ended my turn. Refresh if you aren't seeing that. Unbelievable. I would complain about Dueling Book, but I also could do something about it and donate more money to help them have their site work better. But not doing that. So I guess I can't really complain either. Anyways, here we go. Drawing a card for turn. There's a lot that wins for him here, but there's also a lot that just doesn't get there yet. So that's why I was like, okay, we'll take another turn. We'll see if we can find our way out of this fresh hell that we find ourselves in. Look at that. We're doing it. We're doing it. Cool value, dog. Cool value. Okay. Standby main. Mark of the Rose. Banish. Give me that. Yep. DDR. Discard. Summon this. How about that? Torrential. Okay. That's fine, because now we can rip Miracle Fertilizer off the top of the deck, in addition to Dad. And both of those are really good rips. Lightning Vortex, not a good rip. That's the value. Down on the value. Rhymes with Bayou. I've never been 100% sure what the Bayou is. So if you guys are familiar with the Bayou, please let me know down in the comments. This is pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we did just rip the Dad, and that seems pretty cool, pretty rad, if you will. Destroying Return, love to see it. Pop that as well. Okay. So what do we lose to? We lose to Caius. We lose to Minecon. Plague Spreader Zombie. No, because he has a warrior. He does have a warrior in there. So he can make a Colossal Fighter that gets over us, but not one that kills us. Maybe it was greedy to use the Dad banishing the Thorn on that. You know, I'll be honest, folks. I'm not used to having Dad in my deck. Normally, I'm a little fatherless. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's a little bit of a... Okay, so no Dad for you. Now it's our. I'm used to being fatherless, but it's my opponent who's fatherless this time. Do you guys remember when they put Dad to 2 on the ban list in the OCG? And then we were like, OCG has 2 dads. LOL. Let me tell you guys, 2014 was a different time. It was a different time. For better or for worse, probably for worse, if we're being honest, but it was a different time. Book of Moon. What's your set? Alright, I'm doing this on the back row. I'm more concerned about the back row. Okay, that actually feels good, because burial would have really represented a problem. That's fine. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. Now we can draw for, now that we've had our fun with Dad. Heavy Storm. Hate to see that. Hate to see that. Normal value, and that's game. Nice. So if we had destroyed the Raikou, we still would have had Dad. He had no way to get over the Dad. Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. Let's do Royal Decree. This opponent seems to really enjoy his traps. Really enjoys his traps, so we'll play Decree. And you know what? We're gonna open. I'm speaking it into the universe. We're gonna open Thorn SSN, so we can see just how powerful and broken and crazy good that actually is. Yeah. Dad was nice there. I think maybe, you know, if I'd used Dad a little bit better, then you know, I could have won that. Ooh, always dangerous when your mouse is hovering over 2. I've hit second on occasion by accident. It feels terrible every time. Okay. Well, that's not great, but the rest of this is fine. Let's do that. And maybe we just set the copy plant. Let's set the copy plant. And then we'll use the Lone Fire next turn, no matter what. Because we've got the Trunade, so I'm not particularly scared. We have Furt, so I'm not scared of Deck Devi. I don't think this person is so sinister as to have Eradicator Epidemic Virus. What else? What are the big problems? I mean, you could just have a really explosive first turn, but I feel like Vayu, like, they have really explosive first turns, but they're really, really hard to just get OTK'd. To just get absolutely OTK'd, they have to have a very specific hand. You know, they need, like... Okay, what could they have that could play all the way through? It doesn't matter, because absolutely none of it involves normal summoning Armageddon Knight. Of course, normal summon Armageddon Knight, that's a fine play. That goes in your graveyard, sir. That's a fine play, but it is not going to be an OTK. So, we're still fine. Next turn, I'm going to just use the Lone Fire, just because I could even, like, oh, I could be bad. I could go Lone Fire for Evil Thorn, just to put... No, because the Evil Thorn summon in attack position. I feel like I might have done it in defense. Oh, okay, Bryo. Yeah, no, that's fine, dog. Use some resources. Sure. 2,300 all day. All day I take 2,300. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's Evil Thorn doing absolutely nothing at this time. That's crazy, dude. That's actually crazy. You just left this... Oh, yeah, I guess you have Necrogard now. You do have Necrogard now. Okay, I'll calm down. Still, I'm happy to get the Necrogard out of the way. You could do the Giga Plant and put it back in my hand. Fine. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's all good. All good. A-okay. Yep. Okay, you need to not have Dad. Okay, good. He doesn't have Dad. So that's, oh, no, but it doesn't matter, because it's still... We took too much damage last turn. Alright. GG. GG, well played. Evil Thorn drawing there, not helpful. A trap, super good. Damn must have hurt. GG, no. I don't know where, like, this is a game. I lose the game. Plenty of times I just lost the game, by the way. But, like, it's not a big deal. We lose, we'll queue again. We'll probably queue again tomorrow. I don't think we got really the true essence of Evil Thorn. I think it has more to show us. So we'll be back tomorrow with some more shameless hype beast Evil Thorn GigaVise content. See you guys then.